of the Amazons.
Yes. So the premise of this game is that an enemy has invaded the Mascara, and you will need to work together to defeat them. So for this game, we will be using Ares, the god of war, but you also have the option, the game comes with Circe and the cheetah. Additionally, the difficulty of this game can be adjusted both according to the number of players and player preference. But for this game, we'll be playing on the standard mode for 2 players, and so because of that, Ares' health track will start at 15.
Yeah, so on the side of the board here, we've gone ahead and set up Ares' health at 15. And on the other side, we have the Amazon's defenses that always starts at 20. So the aim of this game is that we need to reduce our enemy's health down to 0 before our defenses hit 0. And in this, for Ares, the last point of damage must be made with a charged Sword of Hephaestus,
Yes.
which we'll get to as we play.
Additionally, the really cool thing about this game is it comes with 5 different player tracks, and they each come with their own little minis, and I've kind of spread them out for you to see here. And the minis are super cool. They're very detailed. Try and get that for you guys to see there. Very detailed. I love that you can see all of the armor, every little bit. But for this game, we will be playing as Diana and Philippus. And you know what? I'll let you be Wonder Woman.
Thank you. We'll be starting in the palace.
Yes. And so I'll go ahead and give you Diana. And there is Philippus. That is who I will be. And just real quick, I'll show you guys just our 2 because they are super cool. And so there is Philippus. And then, of course, Diana. And they will start at the palace.
Awesome. All right, so gameplay takes place in 5 rounds, and they have a really helpful round phase card. And so as we go through these, we'll kind of demonstrate them and kind of talk through them a little bit more. So in the first phase, the start of the round, the enemy advances. So the way that this works is that you will flip over 1 card for the enemy that tells you where he will go. So he is going to move to the square.
Right up here.
And then depending on the number of players, you'll flip another few cards over. For 2 players, we're just flipping 1 other card that then tells us what he does. So for this one, we are going to deploy 1 blockade to all roads out of regions with 2 or more servants of war. Now, whenever Ares moves, he automatically spawns 2 servants of war, which means that this definitely does something. So we will have to deploy a blockade to both of the roads out of the square. Blockades hinder movement for us. So in order for us to even get to Ares or those servants of war, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get there just because of these blockades. So in the second phase now, we are going to strategize together. So we are going to get a few cards face up and a few that are face down. And these will represent the actions that we'll be able to take this round. Now, Philippus actually has a special ability that says that during the strategize phase, she gets 1 additional face-up hero card, which gives us a little bit more information to work with.
Yep.
Now, during the strategy phase, we can't look at the face-down cards. We just need to look at the face-up, and we need to come up with a game plan of how we need to get towards the enemy and do something to them. So, I'm looking at mine. I have a few feet, and I have a few swords that might be able to help, but I also need the feet in order to help me remove a blockade. So
what I'm seeing when I look at mine is I actually have 2 Swift cards. And so on my Swift cards, they have 4 feet each and 1 sword. And so the nice thing about the feet icon is I can use them to both move different spots, as well as on this Airy card, I need 3 feet to remove a blockade. So what I'm thinking is I should probably definitely play these 2 Swift cards, and I will move towards one of these ways and use the other one to remove a blockade. So maybe we can get in there and possibly get rid of some servants of war. Or if you have something really cool, we can take an attack on Ares.
Yeah, so in order to attack Ares, it takes 4 icons of any kind. And you can also team up together. And so if I had 2 of an icon and Chelsea had 2 of another, as long as we did it on the same action, we could attack together.
And in the same location.
And in the same location. So in this, my thought is, I like the idea of you breaking that blockade. Maybe in the second action you can break it, and we can at least get close.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can attack on that same movement.
We are also really close to getting one of the items needed for the Sword of Hephaestus.
That's true.
Should I work on breaking the blockades and maybe you start to get ready to build that sword since we're in that, and hopefully I will have maybe a card in here where I can maybe take out some Servants of War.
That sounds great.
And maybe in your battle strategy, if you see that you can take out some Servants of War, you'll change the plans.
Sounds good. All right, so in the third phase, once we've strategized, you're able to pick up your face-down cards. But at this point, you're not allowed to talk to your fellow Amazons. So at this, we now just need to decide for ourselves the best course of action, whether or not it fits exactly with what we described or not. Yep.
Those are my discards.
All right, so the rest get discarded, and at this point, we will now actually put our action into, or our plan into place. This is when we take our action. So, one at a time, we'll go together and flip over our first action, and we can take these actions, the first action, in any order, you first or me first. What was your idea?
So I ended up still keeping that Swift as originally planned, and so I'm actually going to use the feet portion of it for movement. And so I am going to move straight to where that blockade is in hopes that I can take care of that in my next action.
I as well
What was your thought?
had some feet action since there's not a whole lot else to do. And I was going to move to the Monument of Zeus. Now, in order to pick up that blessing for the Sword of Hephaestus, I have to end my turn there. So depending on how the rest of this goes, I may or may not stay. We'll see what happens.
All right. All right, so I played Swift again. And if we remember from our Ares card, I need at least 3 feet in order to remove a blockade. And with Swift, I do have 4 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this blockade right there.
Perfect. Now, I played a Swift as well, though I don't think that I'll be actually much use because I would have to get in and then do something. So I'll just tell you in my action 3, I don't have much to do. So I think I'm going to stay where I am.
Sounds good. And I just realized that I did not quite think through my last one, because originally I had thought I would be there and I could gladly take those 2 Servant of Wars off because I have 4 swords and you need 2 swords to remove 1 Servant of War, and I thought, perfect! But I forgot that I needed to move
again
to the place. So, unfortunately, my last move, I didn't really quite think that out.
Yeah, and that's the way that it works in war sometimes. You come up with a great plan, and then it doesn't work out.
Yeah, my strategy fell short.
This is where we are. I do get to pick up the blessing from the Monument of Zeus, which is good for us. And because we have 1 region with some Servants of War, we will lose 1 defense at the end of the round.
That hurts a little.
A little bit.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I promise to be a better warrior.
All right, so we are back to the top of the round.
Yes. Also, another really quick, cool thing before we get started, just how Philippus has a fun extra special action as a hero. Diana also has a fun special extra action during the strategize phase.
That's true. That probably would have helped out if we had remembered that. So during the strategize phase, I can move 1 region to help me get in a good position to kind of start from.
So maybe that will help us this upcoming. But first, let's see what Ares is going to do.
All right. So again, Ares will take 1 that just looks at the location. So he will now move to the Temple of Athena.
And here, I'll show kind of this artwork because it's beautiful, but we are only right now paying attention to that bottom part, and he moves to the Temple of Athena. Very nice, close, and personal with me right now. I'm feeling a little triggered by Ares.
And then as his action, he will, as always, deploy 2 Servants of War where he goes, and then again, he will deploy 1 blockade to all roads out of the regions with 2. Now, unfortunately, this region as well still has 2, so that will be blockaded again. And the 2 here will be blockaded as well. So he is really burying himself in.
Yes.
All right. So, on to the strategize phase. I do think, since we're going to start this, there's nothing bad about me moving there. So I will take my special action to do that.
Alright. So kind of just a reminder of that Aries card as we kind of start to talk about our strategies. Well, it's good that I have 2 nimbles. So the nice thing with nimble is I do get 2 swords and 3 feet on both of them. And so I actually could, if we want to work towards just getting kind of that cleared so we don't continue to lose points for the square region still having servants of war, I have enough to get rid of a blockade and then move, and then, or using swift move, and then at least maybe removing one, hopefully more in my hand, possibly, if you think that's a good idea, and then maybe you start to head towards Aries.
So based on what I see here in my strategize phase, I don't have any feet.
Yeah.
So
that makes a problem.
It makes a problem because we don't have anything where I am. My idea is if I have some feet in here, I'll play that first, and if you can break the blockade, maybe I can move in and do some attacks, and you can break it and then maybe move away if you're able to do that.
Okay. I mean, currently I have a lot of feet, so I think I could break the blockade, and then even, I have Swift again, which has that 4 feet, which is kind of not really shown, so I will show that right here. I have Swift, and it has that 4 feet. So I'm thinking maybe use Nimble, break the blockade, and then I'm going to peace out and go, 1, 2, kind of stop there to break that blockade, but that kind of leaves still Aries chilling here with his blockades.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't think there's any way to get straight to him, but I think that makes it a pretty good plan as long as I've got something to help me out.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Alright, let's actually make our battle plans.
See you on the other side of battle.
The best laid plans, I think, is what they say.
All is fair in love and war, right? Even in Wonder Woman. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay, all right. Sorry, Aries. I'm going to push you up just a little bit there. All right, and these are my discards.
Perfect.
All right.
All
Shall
right.
we flip?
We'll flip. So I will let you know. One thing that's neat is we are in the barracks, which is a starred location. There are a few of those, the training grounds, the watchtower, and the Colosseum, where you can deploy Amazons to help us out, warriors. There are a few of those where we can do that. And I will say, I took that entire battle plan and scrapped the whole thing.
Cool. Well, I kept my battle plan, as we agreed on.
So I created 3 warriors. Now the great thing about warriors is they can help us in our actions as we do various things. So they could help break a blockade, or they could help attack Aries or servants of war. And as we move, we can bring them with us. So I will let you know that if you want to move, you might bring some of my warriors with you.
All right. The other kind of scary thing, because I am headed towards Aries, because I kept my battle plan, like a good warrior, I am heading down towards Aries. The thing is when I do bring those warriors, they have the potential of becoming corrupted Amazons by getting close or being in the same region as Aries. So I will admit that makes me a little bit nervous to take them straight down to him. But I'm going to start, and with my first action, that Nimble, I am going to go ahead and remove that blockade.
Perfect.
With my 3 feet.
Excellent. All right. Action 2. I created 2 more warriors, just like we talked about.
I used my Swift for my 4 feet to move towards Aries. And so do you want me to take them with me? I mean, I'm getting into the God of War territory.
I think it would be helpful. They can make things a little bit easier in case you get kind of stuck like I did, maybe.
All right. So take all of them?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these warriors. Oh, no. Warriors are escaping. They do not wish to get close to Aries. I'm going to bring them into the heat of... I'm going to bring them into the heat of battle with me.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. And then as our third action, I created 2 more warriors. Best laid plans.
And I'm going to go ahead and I have Nimble again. I was lucky enough to get 2 of those, and I will go ahead and play those 3 feet again to remove the blockade towards Aries.
Perfect.
And that's
All right.
where we're at.
Glad I could help.
Unfortunately, we do now have 2 regions that have Servants of War, and so we will actually, our defenses will lose 2 this time, putting us at 17. But Aries is still lower than us.
Aries is still
at
a little
15,
bit lower.
so
Not that we've done too much to him.
we'll get him. He just has all these blockades.
So he now moves to the woods, which is
right over here.
When he goes there, he will create 2 more Servants of War.
Fingers crossed, no blockades.
And he will deploy 3 Servants of War to the shore.
All right.
No blockades, besides the ones that were there already.
Yes. This is feeling pretty good.
The blockades were really hurting. All right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hold up that Aries card again. And so I think definitely during this strategy phase, which you can move.
I can move, and I'm thinking I should go towards the square and try and knock out some of the...
Yes.
And I'll bring the 2 warriors with me.
I was thinking that. We really need to probably try and get rid of those Servants of War as soon as possible. And so I'm not looking too great with Servants of War. I do have 2 swords here. I'm hoping I have some in my hand. But I definitely do have some feet, so I can move and at least take out maybe 1 and then maybe take out that blockade.
But with the warriors to help you, I bet you could definitely at least take
out 2, because I can sacrifice, well, get rid of
them.
use 2 of my warriors to help fight the Servants of War.
Exactly. All right, I think since I'm already with them, I can definitely take out 1 of them, and if I need to use my other warriors, I can do that as well. So maybe we can clear off at least 2 of these areas.
All right, let's do it. Don't change the war plan on me this time, okay?
All right.
We're hurting.
Now, one cool thing is what I had in my hand was actually a relic. So I have the Lasso of Truth.
Very nice.
And when that comes out, if you'll show that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will get the token in the location. So that will show up in the vault. And what that means is that kind of the same way that I picked up the blessing, if I move to that vault and I end my turn there, I'll be able to pick up that relic, which then means when moving I can choose one of the types of obstacles to move with me. So the obstacles are the Corrupted Amazons, the Servants of War, or the blockades, which may help us if we need to kind of move things around or get something to you or something like that.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely leave that out.
Yes.
To see if that might help us later.
Nice. It's probably not good that I sometimes mumble to myself. Not probably the best warrior. Don't listen to what I'm planning over here as I make my plans. So I'll do that. I'm sorry. I have some good strategies over here that I'm trying to make happen. And so I apologize for that.
Chelsea, as Philippus, also has an extra card, so it makes the decisions a little bit tougher.
So much tougher. How do they imagine? There's just so many good cards, and there are so many fun little things that they do, and they also have really
artwork and quotes.
Yes, beautiful artwork and a lot of really fun quotes. I'm not playing this card, so I feel like I can show it. Like, for example, experience. The first casualty of war is truth.
Powerful.
Very powerful, and I do very much love the tree on this card. Unfortunately, I'm not playing it.
All right, let's see what we actually did. So in action 1, so I played bold, and this one actually has a note, double this card's emblems if it's your first action. So since I played it as my first action, I am actually going to use 4 swords to defeat both of the Servants of War.
And you gotta keep your warriors.
And I gotta keep my warriors.
Oh, that was so nice. All right, so I have Nimble as my first card, and I am going to use that to move, and I'm also going to take all of my warriors with me, so I'm just going to kind of herd them over there. So many are joining me.
Yep. Second action?
I have Persistent, and so the cool thing with Persistent is it says draw 2 cards into your battle plan for the next round. And so my battle plan is actually those cards that remain face down. So these I cannot strategize and share with him, but when I do get to pick up those 3 face down cards, I will now have 5. And so if my last turn took long, this turn will probably take a little bit longer. But hopefully we have a couple of extra cards that maybe I can mess with the battle plan and maybe see something really work next turn. So I kind of did that for that. But it also has 3 swords. And so I am also going to use one of my warriors to make that 4 swords and get rid of those 2 servants of war.
Very nicely done.
Yes.
I have Resourceful, which has 2 shoes, and I am going to use one of my warriors to break this blockade.
Nice. Oh, it's feeling better.
A little bit. We still haven't gotten areas yet, but we're getting there.
All right. And so the last card that I have is Inspiring. This card does have a special action. Unfortunately, it is double the emblems of one other hero in your region. Diana is very far from my region, but it does have the 3 feet, which I needed so I could remove that final blockade.
Excellent.
So I did do that for that.
Very well done. I have Adaptable, which gives me a few different symbols, but I think I'm going to use it just to help me kind of move and get maybe a little bit closer to my next blessing.
Perfect.
All right. So at the end of the round, the enemy will attack. So based on what's left, we only have now 1 location with
2.
The shore.
The shore.
All right. 2 locations
Out of sight, out
Servants
of mind
War.
at the bottom.
So we lose 2 defenses, and we are now tied with it.
Yeah, I mean, tied feels good. We're kind of doing an underdog thing. We're trying to lull Ares into thinking that he's going to beat us, and, you know.
Sense of complacency.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So he will move to the vault,
Yes.
which is where our Lasso of Truth is, and then as his action, he will deploy more barriers to all roads with the regions with 2 or more Servants of War, which will also be the one that he just went to, as well as the woods and the shore.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, at least there's only 1 road there,
and 1 road to the shore.
1 road to the shore, just kind of by him.
Okay.
Not the best. All right.
All right.
Let's see our cards.
Perfect.
And actually, with my face-up cards, another relic came out. The golden armor came out, and that will go to the barracks if you want to place the golden armor for me. And this relic is really cool because when moving, you may move directly to the enemy's region, then end your action. And so we are definitely going to probably want this towards the end.
Yep.
It is a nice thing for you to have with the sword of if we get close to that 3-2 area where Diana can already move straight to where Ares is and hopefully close. And so fingers crossed he doesn't, fingers crossed he doesn't move too much, and we'll be able to get him right then and there at the start of hopefully that final turn. So I think we should definitely keep that out. Unfortunately, I now only have 2 cards, which is a new experience for me, out to discuss.
That's how we all feel. So I'm not looking too great, but I can use my strategized movement maybe to go... We'll go to the palace and maybe give myself some options.
I like that. I definitely think we do need to start, while we may not be hitting Ares, I do think we need to continue to get, you need to continue to get into the areas to finish powering up the sword of Hephaestus in hopes that like we can just bam, 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 hit him once once we're there. I'm trying to set us up.
I know.
Unfortunately, my cards, I don't have movement at the moment.
Hopefully you do it in your battle plan.
Yes, I'm hoping there. So at the moment, I can't really plan moving. And if we could end up in the same area, but you don't have any double cards.
I don't have movements either, so we'll see.
All right, well.
This one's a bit of a free-for-all. We're kind of in different locations, so it's hard to talk.
Good luck. Oh, hey, hold up. I got another relic really quick here. So the Sandals of Hermes, and that will go to the monument to Hermes. And this relic, when moving, you may move directly to any temple or monument, then end your action. And so those are kind of nice because they're at a lot of those temples and monuments are kind of on the outskirts of the island. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good one to kind of leave out too.
Perfect.
Sorry, back to strategizing, creating your own battle plan. Sorry, I am like really studying this board right now.
It's tough with the barricades because it seems like the feet are kind of few and far between this game as well.
Yes. All right, so. All right, okay.
So this is one of the first games that we've had that Ares is really just creating blockades all the time, and it makes it really difficult to move around. So it might be one of those things where if we can get the Sandals of Hermes or the Golden Army, that might make things a little bit easier. So depending on how that works out for us, maybe that'll help us out a little bit.
Hold on. I had something, but...
She's counting. That's how you know she's serious.
It's very important right here. I gotta figure this out.
I'm just hoping that means you have an awesome plan.
Fingers crossed. I mean, it's me. It's always awesome. Let's be real. Okay, we'll see if that works.
We'll see if it works. That's how it goes sometimes.
All right. Let's hear what we both figured out in our own personal battle plan strategies.
I really wanted to go for Ares, so instead I didn't. I wasn't able to. I was able to go to the barracks, and I'm hoping to pick up the golden armor, though.
All right. Well, great minds think alike, because I worked it out where I could also go that way, but that's fine. I will go ahead and I will actually continue this way. So I'm going to use, I have nimble and it has 3 feet, so I'm going to go just 1 right there and set myself up.
Okay. Next round, I deployed 2 warriors to the barracks.
Very nice. I just realized that I should have switched these cards because Steadfast, if I would have played it in my last action, it says double this card's emblems if this is your 3rd action. I was very excited about the plan that I had kind of created in my mind
Sorry
and
about
counting.
That.
No worries. Oh, and I meant to take my warriors with me. I forgot to kind of push them up along. So unfortunately, because I did not play that in my 3rd action, I am going to use one of my warriors to make it 3 feet, because I only have 2 feet on that card.
That works.
So I may remove this blockade.
All right, and then action 3, I created 3 more warriors, because Diana is great at helping train warriors.
And I used adaptable, and so I am actually going to use my 2 feet to move, and I will move my warriors with me and hopefully actually be able to pick up that lasso of truth since I'm there, and maybe take some things with me next time, since we kind of have a hot spot of servants of war and blockades growing here, there. Hopefully move some stuff around.
All right, so since we end our rounds here, Chelsea will actually pick up the lasso of truth.
Thank you.
That will allow her at any time that she moves to move an obstacle with her. And I will pick up the golden armor, which means that any time I move, instead of counting my movement, I can just move directly to the enemy's region, which I'm hoping will help us get some good attacks.
Yes. And unfortunately, this is the first time where Ares is actually going to we will drop lower than his tracker.
Yep.
And so we do have to count our regions. We have 3 with Servants of War, and so this will drop by 3, putting us at 12 and Ares still at 15.
Still at 15. All right, let's see what he's got in store for us. So he is going to move to the square.
And that is up here. here, and two
and create
will
2
spawn.
servants of war. And then he will deploy 2 corrupted Amazons to the barracks. Oh no! And he will replace all warriors in that region with corrupted Amazons, which will be 6 of them.
Oh
So
no.
my wonderful plan of creating lots of warriors really backfired there. But I'm currently with them, so we'll see what we can do there.
All right, so what you are going to be looking for during the strategies phase is definitely a lot of books.
A lot of books.
Because we need 3.
We haven't hit on this yet, but there is, we will lose 3 defense for each region with 5 or more obstacles, being those servants of war or corrupted Amazons. And we are currently looking at 8 in the barracks, so I've got my work cut out for me.
Well, the nice thing is I'm quite close, so if I can just break it, move, I can hopefully help you.
Help.
Or I can try and get rid of the servants of war and maybe cut down 1 region, so we don't lose points there, but I guess it depends on what we see strategy-wise.
Depends on what we see as far as the strategy.
Or maybe I should bring some stuff with me, or maybe go up to you and then take some corrupted soldiers down.
That's kind of my thinking.
All right.
Alright, I do have bold, which will double my emblems and let me take out at least 1 of the corrupted Amazons since it takes 3. And then I've got swift, which doesn't help unless I just want to get out.
Well, based on what I have right here, with my adaptable, I can also use one of my warriors to go ahead and remove that final blockade. That will take 3 of those steps. Then I have steadfast. I have 2, so I could move to join you afterwards. I could pull or leave the servants of war there, but I do have a book right here, and I do have 3 that are coming with me, so I could technically get rid of 2, or 2 in total corrupted Amazons with those 3 warriors. Nope, I only have 2 warriors, so I could get 1 corrupted warrior, because I will need 1 of my warriors for the blockade, unless I have something in my hidden cards when I get them, which I don't see right now.
Oh, I may not have given them to you.
How does that, what are you thinking?
It sounds good. I don't want to do the math, but I think at this point we need to try and just hit those corrupted Amazons as hard as possible.
All right.
If you can get there and help me out, that would be great.
Okay, let's hope that we got some stuff here. Good luck.
Thank you. So keep in mind, we do still have 3 blessings out. We've got the Temple of Athena, the Temple of Aphrodite, and the Monument to Hermes that we need to pick up the blessings for. But in all honesty, that doesn't really help too much until we can get Ares towards the bottom. So the Sword of Hephaestus doesn't actually help us until we're getting him from 1 health point to 0. So at this point, we are really just trying to focus on keeping our defenses up and making sure that Ares doesn't deploy more than we can deal with. And as possible, right now the biggest threat is the 5 or more obstacles sitting with me on the barracks. But as we go forwards, hopefully in the next round or 2, we'll be able to hit Ares a few times. No luck.
The difficult thing is this barrack right here creates, I can't move to right where you are, so I'm trying to see if I can kind of work around to maybe get there sooner, but I'm pretty sure I can't I can't use a warrior to take extra steps.
That's correct. It's
So,
only for special actions.
Unfortunately, my brilliant plan that I thought I could maybe do to just kind of circle around that barricade to really help hit right there, I don't think I'm going to be able to do as planned, which kind of now changes what I was hoping to do.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, I don't know if I will be able to help you too much.
Well, do what you can.
No pressure. Alright, so let's see. I can definitely...
I'm starting to forget what my plan was, so.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I definitely want to do that there.
So as far as the corrupted Amazons, they don't actually lose us defense until they make it to the palace. So there are some cards that Aries can play that will say that the corrupted Amazons will move one step closer to the palace, which would be dangerous for us because they are only one spot away from the palace. So that's something that, beyond just getting them down to less than 5, which will hurt us for 3 defense, if they make it to the palace, we actually lose 2 defense for each one of the corrupted Amazons that make it to the palace. So they're a pretty big threat at the moment. So are you ready for our battle?
I am ready.
All right. So my first action was bold, which allows me to double the card's emblem as if it's my first action. So I am able to take out one of these on my own.
Very well. And I played adaptable, which only has 2 feet, so I am going to use one of my warriors here so I can get rid of that blockade and make movement just a little bit easier.
Excellent. Action 2.
Yep.
Not that I didn't learn my lesson, but I created 3 warriors. I've got a plan. Trust me on this.
And I actually am going to move to join you.
Excellent. Are you bringing the warriors?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Excellent. And 3.
So I have Steadfast, and so this, because it is in the 3rd action this time, it actually doubles this card's emblems if it is my 3rd action. And so I have 2 sword and 2 feet. I can't really do anything with the corrupted our Amazons, but with the 2 feet, I can double that and move 4 spaces away. And with the Lasso of Truth, I can actually choose one type of obstacle and move it with me. Okay. So I was thinking I could break some of that up.
That would be great.
So
move one with you. Where are you headed?
Probably towards the Colosseum, maybe, or the library, so they're a little bit further away from the palace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go for it.
How many should I take with me?
I think you can take 1.
Choose one type.
Oh, 1 type. So take 3.
All right. So, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave my warriors there.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
And I will take 3 with me to the library, and that ends my turn. But at least we have kind of broken up that, and hopefully...
And I've got adaptable. So I've got 2 books and a total now of 5 warriors. So that is a total of 7 if I wanted it. And 6 of those will take out 2 of them. So I will remove 2 of those by taking 4 of our warriors and 2 of my books, which has now gotten us out of the losing 3 defense. So we do now lose 1 defense for each spot that has a Servant of War. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And we're getting in kind of the dangerous zone here.
All right. So we definitely need to start hitting Aries to make him feel our pain.
So he will move to the Temple of Athena,
All the way
is
nice
all
and
the way
close
down
with
here.
me. And 2 Servants of War.
2 Servants of War. Now with the Formidable, he is actually going to get 2 more Servants of War. And kind of what we were talking about, the corrupted Amazons will now move 1 region closer to the palace.
Okay.
Excellent. Giving us a little bit more to worry about because each of these will lose us 2 defense if they end the turn in the palace there. So.
Which I think during your strategy phase, you should move 1 region already so you can start in the palace.
I'll bring a warrior with me as well.
And hopefully do something there.
Now we are out of cards, so I will shuffle the deck, our hero deck, to make sure that we've got enough to follow through.
Okay, okay. Okay. So I kind of have a crazy strategy plan here.
Okay.
So looking at my cards, I do have Swift, and Swift is great because it does give you those 4 feet, and so you're able to cover a lot of ground very, very quickly. And so just kind of looking at that 4 feet, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will get some stuff. I do have 4 swords here with Powerful, and so I could take out 2 of those. And then if I play basically what's right here, Steadfast Last, I can double this card's emblems if it is my 3rd action. And I need 4 of any icon, and I have 2 here. Doubling that would make 4. So not only could I take out 2, but I can take 1 strike at Ares, and maybe he can feel some of the pain.
That sounds great. I do have something that will let me take out, if I play that in my first round, to take out at least 1 of them. And then I'm hoping that something here will let me do that as well.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Sounds good.
All right, let's see what we've got with our face down cards.
Okay. There you are.
Thank you very much. All right, let's see how this goes. So, action 1.
All right. So I kept that Swift, and I will go ahead and move those 4 spaces to join Ares.
Perfect. Mine, I played Bold, which allows me to double the card's emblems if it's my first action. So I have 2 books showing, which means that since I get to double it, I have enough to remove 1 Corrupted Amazon.
Very nice. All right. And then I still play Powerful, like I said, and it has 4 swords showing, and you need 2 swords to remove 1 Servant of War, so I will go ahead and remove 2 of those Servants of War, bringing us down to just 2 there with Ares.
Awesome. I did 2 books by playing Nimble, and with my 1 warrior is enough to clear out all of the Corrupted Amazons from the palace, which is exactly what we needed. 3rd action.
And I kept that Steadfast, which I said. So because it is actually played as my final action, I get to double this card's emblems. And I can double either one. I have 2 stars and 2 feet. And remember, to deal 1 damage to Ares, you just need 4 of any icon. So with doubling it, either or, and we can go ahead and strike Ares once, lowering him down to 14.
Perfect. And I played Powerful, which allows me to double the emblems of 1 hero in the enemy's regions. I'm not exactly sure about doubling a double, which we'll have to look into, but I'm going to say, at least for right now, that you get to hit him twice.
Very, very nice.
Because we need that, so we're going to do that. So basically at this point, we would continue going through the rounds, attacking Ares as much as possible, as well as trying to comb through his advances that he's making on the island. This game is going pretty rough for us, but what basically our goal would be to work him down, as well as continuing to grab the 3 blessings that remain, as well as maybe any relics that happen to show up that might make it a little bit easier on us. When we get him down to 1 health, the player with the charged Sword of Hephaestus would need to attack for that last point of damage. Though at this point it may look like he might have gotten us on the defense.
No. Ares is lucky that we ran out of time because we were getting ready to come back and defeat the God of War and save the Mascara.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed this as much as we do. We super love Wonder Woman and just how this plays and what it looks like. The board is beautiful and all of the pieces. And with that, shout out to Prospero Hall, the designer of this game, for that, because all of it is so just beautifully done, and it is a joy to just play and mess with and to read all of the quotes and all of the fun little things that they have that really connect you into this world.
Absolutely. And along with this, the great part of this is that it's got some really great replayability. As well as being cooperative, you also have some additional enemies. So we mentioned briefly that you can fight against Circe as well as the cheetah. They come with their own wing conditions, as well as the things that they do when they attack. And the cheetah actually has an additional loss where if she cycles through her deck and she has a few moves that she can do to help her mill through her draw deck, if she cycles through 3 times, we lose because we didn't take care of her fast enough. So depending on which enemy you choose and the easy or difficult side, it can really ramp up the difficulty, though. As you can see, we had a challenge with it just as it was.
So thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed and that you will definitely, hopefully, pick up Wonder Woman soon by Ravensburger and try it out for yourself. And hopefully you'll fare a little bit better than we did.
Thank you all.
Bye.